This is my first ever video post, which is really exciting. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. And hope you guys are all having a really good Monday. Today I wanted to talk about music and exercise, and kind of whether it's a distraction or whether it can be good, and whether it's needed. Because yeah, especially in my own practice, my own exercise, I tend to rely on music, and it can be really hard. Sometimes those times where we don't have music available to us, or you can't. Growing up, I was a swimmer, so in the pool you don't have music, or we didn't for a really long time, and I got used to being in the pool not having music. I would sing in my head, or think about stuff. But for me, in my competitive athleticism and swimming, I wasn't used to it. But now running, I've always run with music. Actually, that's a lie. That's a lie. Sorry, I'm watching the Bears. I ran with music on my own. When I was in cross country, I didn't run with music. So when I first started really running, when I was really training to run and training to compete in running, we didn't listen to music in practice. I don't think we were allowed to. And, definitely not during the cross country meets. We most definitely were not allowed to have our headphones and have our iPods. But now, in races I compete in the 5Ks, the 10Ks, the halves that I do, I rely on my music. Especially during training runs, during a 9. Oh my god! Already! Sorry. She had a sick pass. Focus. Yeah, so, when I'm doing a 10, 11, 12 mile training run, I gotta have my music. I have to have something, helping me to kind of focus on what I'm doing, away from focusing on what I'm doing. At mile 9 of a 10-mile run, you're tired, you're ready to go, be done. But yeah, so for that, I've always kind of depended on music ever since I've started running longer distances, and really gotten to the point where I have convinced myself that I cannot run without music. Especially in my half marathons, in both of my halves that I ran, I create playlists that are gonna help my run. I make it so that at the beginning I have songs that are slower, that'll kind of keep me slowing down, not slowing down, but maintaining a pace that's going to allow me to finish within the time that I want to, and so not to let my adrenaline take me off and burn out by mile 5 or 7. Yeah, so, and then at the end, the last couple of miles, I have just upbeat, songs that I love, my favorite songs that I can sing to, songs that are gonna really jack me up and make me run. Run fast and sprint and be done. And then I'll have, a song or two at the end that's gonna, cool me back down. I listen to it while I'm, finding my people, etc. Yeah. So, but today I went for a run and I forgot my headphones. And I'm usually really good about this. I never forget my headphones, and I had planned on running, so I think I figured that I had them, or I had a pair in my car. I have everything else in my car. Yeah, so I had no headphones and I was freaking out, and I was like, maybe I should just go for a bike ride, maybe I just, shouldn't run, or maybe I should go run later, after class, after I'm done with everything. And then I was like, no, I can do this. I can totally run without my headphones. And a few weeks ago in my practicum class, my practicum supervisor, that's our small group supervision where we talk about our field placements and get supervision and advice about what we're doing. And so my supervisor was talking about how you shouldn't train with music and how you shouldn't depend on it, and how if you're doing like a real training run. Now, I wasn't doing a real training run today. Right now, I'm not technically training for anything. Just like, if you're doing a real training run, you shouldn't train with music because, you want to be in that setting. Now, for me, in a competitive setting, I would always have music. But I could kind of see where he was coming from because one of my other friends, Julie, who you guys have probably read about, she designed my training program for my first half marathon, and she ran the second one, not with me because she's really fast, but she was in it, and we went together. And I love her. She's amazing. She really helped me out a lot. She tried to get me to kind of start thinking about training without music. So today I was like, let's give it a try. I'm going to run like 3 or 4 miles, NBD. Shouldn't be too bad. I can do like 40 minutes without music. And, I start running, and I'm like, this is great. It's so fun. It was really cold out. But, I could really focus on me, focus on my body, focus on what was happening, focus on my breathing, just really kind of connect to it. I could really feel my legs, feel what was going on. They felt like lead. And I did 4 miles at a 9:10 pace, which is amazing because usually I do like 9:30, 9:45. And so that was like a pretty good pace for me to do without music, to do without that, that kind of extra motivation. So yeah, so I just kind of wanted to share that experience and kind of, see what you guys do. Do you always train with music? Do you depend on music? Do you prefer to run without it? I know my mom doesn't run with music because she, when she started running, there weren't MP3 players, there weren't iPods, there weren't phones that you can, carry your music on, so she never listens to music when she runs. But we, our generation, my generation has been so programmed, although when I started running, I guess we did have MP3 players, but, like, I'm dependent on it now. Even I've now become dependent on running with my phone for my GPS system. Something that I didn't need before. But, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to share that, and I hope you guys like my video post. Yeah, sweet. Okay, well, happy Monday. I have some good recipes coming your way. I made bomb chili last night. It literally is like the best thing I've ever made. The best chili I've ever made, without a doubt. And tonight I made puppy chow and oatmeal monster cookies. They're my favorite. For my spoiled class tomorrow. So, I hope you guys have a great night, and you're watching this football game, because you should be, because it's Monday night. And the Bears are on. But yeah, go Bears. And I will see you guys later. Have a good night.